We are here to celebrate the plant-based lifestyle, and I want to thank Helene and Dilip and the whole crew here. They do such a wonderful job in promoting the plant-based lifestyle for years, and it's absolutely amazing to me the amount of work and effort they do just from pure passion. And I'm here to talk to you about what they call the plant-powered tsunami, and not just talk about it. You heard Milton, Dr. Mills, and so many other speakers throughout the next 2 days are going to be talking about the power of a plant-based diet, the power of a plant-based lifestyle for health, for the sustainability of the planet, for compassion. And I don't know about you, but I feel like we need a lot more compassion, don't you? So how can you help? And often we feel like we don't have that power in us. I'm going to show you how you can help and how we can accelerate this plant-based movement. So first, what is the plant-based movement? Basically, it's a group of people working together to advance the plant-based lifestyle. The fact that you're here, thank you. Thank you for being here, helping the movement. The fact that you're attending this, whether you are a carnivore that's still learning what being plant-based is about, what the benefits are, you're here. When people see you here, that makes an impact. Not just to you, but to the people around you. So what's at stake? I want you to think about this very carefully. There's not many things you can do in the world just by changing one thing, what you put in your mouth, that can impact so much. We can prevent and even reverse many of our top chronic diseases. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, cancer. Just one of those, heart disease being the #1 killer in the US, would be big enough, don't you think? Yet we can attack so many more of these, fight back so many of these chronic diseases that impact our health. As my friend Nelson Campbell likes to say, we argue about who's paying the health bill. Right? But we're paying for it either way. We have a way to fix our healthcare system right here by going plant-based. Ending world hunger. Think about that. The end of world hunger, which causes nearly half of the deaths in children under 5 right now. By going plant-based, instead of taking the grain and feeding the animals that can only feed so many people, why don't we take the crops, the grains, and feed people? Stopping the mass killing of animals, which have been proven to be unnecessary for optimal nutrition. We learn about that throughout this event. And the fact is, I consider myself plant-based, but I also consider myself a vegan. I went plant-based for health, but once you learn about the horrors of factory farming, for instance, you can't. If you have any kind of conscience, any compassion in you, you can't help but feel for the animals. And we can protect our planet from deforestation and climate change. If you've been watching any of the debates, what do they talk a lot about? Climate change, right? It's a big thing right now. Yet, how many times have you heard a plant-based diet mentioned in its ability to impact climate change? This is what is at stake. Just one of these causes would be worth a legacy to pursue, right? If you wanted to say, what did I do in my lifetime? I stopped heart disease in its tracks. I ended world hunger. I helped the killing of 156 billion animals a year. Or I protected our planet from deforestation, from climate change, from dead zones. That's what's at stake. So the plant-powered tsunami is growing. The movement is growing. Mindfulness was the #1 food trend in 2018. Mindfulness means you are conscious about what you're eating. You care what you're eating, what it's good for, why you're eating it, how you got it. That mindfulness means it's not just plant-based people or vegans. Mindfulness was the #1 food trend for everybody. Sales of plant-based foods increased by 17% over the past year. 17% by the Good Food Institute. 46% of adults in America, sometimes or always, eats vegan or vegetarian when eating out. 46% of adults. Keep this in mind. There's only 6% people that consider themselves vegan or vegetarian. Wow. So that's another 40% of adults. You understand that? 40% of adults. So when you feel like you're all alone, you're not. In fact, 50% of consumers eat at least one meatless meal a week, while 2/3 of millennials claim to eat plant-based meals regularly. You see the wave? And the wave is global. In fact, in the UK, the number of vegans who shun all animal products, including dairy and eggs, has grown 400%. 400% in the past 4 years, from 150,000 to 600,000. In Israel, it's ranked 6th for the second year in a row for worldwide vegan habits. When you go to Israel, restaurants there primarily have vegan options. It's very rare for a restaurant in Israel to not have vegan options. Can we say that in the U.S.? I believe Arby's was the one restaurant that refused. Point blank, they actually said it. We will never, ever, ever have plant-based options. They will go out of business. I'll show you why. In Finland and Sweden, McDonald's, the world's largest fast food chain, made its McVegan sandwich a permanent menu fixture. They're waiting here in the U.S. to see the foot traffic. The fact is, whether you like McDonald's or not, a lot of people eat there, and they get exposed. And China currently consumes 40% of the world's fruit and vegetables. 40%. And the number of vegan outlets has doubled from 49 in 2012 to more than 100. So the wave is global. You may not feel it here all the time in the U.S., and I know. Often we put ourselves in a bubble. But it's actually changing here in the U.S. too. In fact, dairy shows intolerance to plant-based competitors. This is by the Financial Times. Look at this. Milk consumption has fallen. If you take a look at that U.S. blue line and the U.K. blue line, notice how far it's dropped. Yeah, milk's hurting. In fact, alternatives are super hot. Plant-based milks versus cow's milk in retail. If you take a look there, plant-based milks in 2017 were 3% growth. They jumped 3 times to up 9% in 2018, while cow's milk dropped in 2018 by 6%. And sales, that's money. And in plant-based meats versus animal meat, again, growth in 2017, 6%. It jumped 4 times in 2018 to 24%, and animal meats only grew by 2%. It did grow though, but we're jumping them. So you understand, the growth of the plant-powered tsunami is undeniable. This is just in a year, from 2017 to 2018. So let's follow that money. A lot of people say money makes the world go round. I've heard this a lot, right? Pharmaceuticals, meat, dairy industries, it's all money driven, right? Well, let's follow the money. Beyond Meat surged more than 160% in its first day of trading on the public markets, and it soared to nearly 500. It actually might be over 500% now above its initial public offering. By the way, I know there's a debate between vegans and plant-based people about Beyond Meat or Impossible Whoppers and so on. But at the end of the day, money talks for a lot of people, business. And the fact is, those companies see where the market's going. And 95% of the people that buy Beyond Meat or Impossible Whoppers are non-vegans. 95%. Plant-based meats grew 24%, 4 times higher than the growth in 2017. The U.S. meat substitute retail market is expected to reach over $2.5 billion by 2023. And Tyson's Foods, now I found this quite shocking. Tyson Foods, one of the world's largest poultry, beef, and pork producers, is planning to sell its own meat substitute this year. Tyson's. Plant-based milk grew 9%, as I mentioned, compared with cow's milk. And the plant-based protein market could reach $5.2 billion by 2020, according to the FAIR Initiative. And here is it's an interesting wave that, quite frankly, is growing much faster than I ever thought would be possible. Fast food restaurants are offering or planning to offer plant-based proteins, including Burger King. We know they have the Impossible Whopper. White Castle has been offering it. Dunkin' Donuts in New York has been offering a plant-based sausage breakfast sandwich, which is it's doing very well. A&W has been offering their burgers. Little Caesars, a cheese pizza place, offers Beyond sausage. Chipotle's, Qdoba's, Subway is planning to offer a Beyond meatball sandwich. Del Taco already offers their tacos, plant-based. Red Robin, Cheesecake Factory, Tim Hortons, Carl Jr.'s, TGI Fridays, Applebee's, KFC. Now that'll be an interesting one. I saw in the news with plant-based news. Great. If you haven't checked out plant-based news, really good. And Robbie does a little KFC video there. Love it. But here's the problem. Animal agricultural industry is fighting back. This is why we need your help. Let me explain. In 2017, Tammy Baldwin, senator from Wisconsin, introduced the Dairy Pride Act. Hang with me here. The Defending Against Imitations and Replacements of Yogurt, Milk, and Cheese to Promote the Regular Intake of Dairy Everyday Act. The Pride Act. Pretty cheesy, I know. To require enforcement against misbranded milk alternatives. In addition, in 2018, plant-based meat substitutes were called one of the 6 greatest ag challenges by Chuck Jolley, the president of the Meat Industry Hall of Fame. Yes, there is a Meat Industry Hall of Fame. I can't make this up. Last year, North Carolina moved to prohibit the sale of plant-based products mislabeled as milk. That's not just in North Carolina. Missouri recently enacted a state law requiring that only harvested production livestock or poultry can be marketed as meat. And you see a lot of products now, even plant-based milks, right, now call themselves, or instead of soy milk, they may call themselves soy products, plant-based liquid products. They're trying to avoid the shipping issues when they're going to different states. And the fight is far from over. I mentioned earlier that there is still a 2% growth in meat. Why? People are dropping pork and beef. They're cutting back. What they're doing is they're increasing chicken instead. Oh, it's the safer meat. It's clean meat. It's healthy. We know better. Right? You were watching Milton, right? You heard that. And the demand for milk is declining, but cheese is actually increasing. Now, there's a reason why. As more people start to explore the plant-based lifestyle, they cut back on meat. You see more people going vegetarian. But what do? They cut out meat, and instead they eat more, right? Cheese, especially. And we know how addictive cheese can be, and there's a whole talk about that I do. But the fact is that we see this increase in cheese demand. In addition, even for the animals themselves, we talk about compassion. There are a number of gag laws. Does anyone know what an gag was? Right? It basically gags you. It stops whistleblowers from reporting farms, for instance, on the abuse of animals. In North Carolina, we're one of the worst. It is what it is. In North Carolina, and you can see here the blue states is where they've already passed that farm law. The orange states where they were defeated, but you can see there's still gag laws that people are trying to roll out in their states. So there's a lot to be done. For all the wins that I just mentioned, the growth of the plant-based movement, the fact is we have a fight. Now, how can you accelerate? Raise your hand if you are plant-based right now. Okay, welcome. You are now part of the PlantPowered Tsunami. Say, I promise to promote the plant-based lifestyle, to improve people's health, create a more sustainable planet, and encourage compassion for all. Thank you very much. You can sign in to the organization outside. So I want you to help accelerate the plant-powered tsunami. Because let me tell you this. I don't know about you, but I think it could go faster. Don't you? Yes. So first thing I want you to do, I want you to wake up. And what I'm going to show you is a system that we use when creating organizations around the world. So I was part of Plant Pure Nation, where we started a Plant Pure Pod program. It was a team. It wasn't just me. I was just part of the organization. But the fact is that we had 400 independent support groups around the world. Okay, and we started at like 9 months. Within 9 months, we had help to help people start independent groups or bring them together to help support them. And we help people to wake up, to learn. And then we help them to adopt the plant-based lifestyle after they learn. Then we validate the lifestyle. While you're doing the lifestyle, make sure you keep track of how you're doing and then engage others with your results. I call this wave. You see the wave? Yeah. You're going to help ride the wave, and you're going to help other people ride the wave. So let's talk about step 1. Wake up and learn. Name your favorite documentary. Just yell it out. Yell it out. Forks Over Knives. So Lee Fulkerson and I had fun together. John Corey produced Forks Over Knives, and we worked together at Plant Pure Nation. Plant Pure Nation, What the Health, Earthlings. Ooh. I know. I hear you. I hear you. Game Changers is coming out. Watch documentaries. Here's the beauty of documentaries. 1, we love our Netflix, right? We consume. It's something that you can also share with other people. You can sit down with your family. Just so you know, when I went plant-based for health reasons. And you know what helped convince me? My daughter had shared with me a film called Cowspiracy. I was bedridden. I couldn't walk. My eyes would shake every 3 to 5 minutes as well. So I basically had vertigo every 3 to 5 minutes, and I basically gave up on life. And then I had nothing to do. I literally was suicidal. My daughter shared with me Cowspiracy, and then my wife shared with me. My daughter had been vegan for 11 years before me, and my wife, who had been vegan for 5 years, shared with me Forks Over Knives. May 23rd, 2015, I went vegan. 4 weeks later, I could walk without a cane. 2 weeks after that, my nystagmus stopped. My eyes stopped shaking. 2 weeks after that, I joined Plant Pure Nation. Read books. China Study is one of my all-time favorites with Dr. T. Colin Campbell. And the World Peace Diet. I love Will. Met Will in Charlotte. And I got to tell you, though, Dr. Greger's got me hooked on how not to die. I listened to the audiobook. Oh, my gosh. You learn so much on a trip just with the audiobook. Congratulations. You're going to love it. Look up the research. Nutritionfacts.org, Dr. Greger runs that, and plantbasedresearch.org as well. Michaela runs that as well. Great organizations, great websites to quickly find information and share information. And then you can attend events such as this, right? Triangle Veg Fest, absolutely amazing job that they pulled together here. But there are symposiums, conferences, local groups, meetups you can join, and chapters. Again, Plant Pure Nation has the Plant Pure Pods. You can go to plantpurecommunities.org and join a community or start one. They'll help you start one. I run the Plant-Based Society, which is an association, which has chapters, like in Charlotte and Tampa, and we're starting chapters around. Wake up, learn, get in that mindset, lifelong learning. And if you want to even pursue further, I say go for formal training. I got a certificate in plant-based nutrition with Dr. T. Colin Campbell's program at eCornell, right? You can do it online. Step 2, once you wake up and you're smelling the plant-based foods, adopt the plant-based lifestyle and ride the wave. Now, I've had to put this first, accept the past and forgive yourself. Understand, I am from Honolulu, Hawaii, where we bury pigs under the ground to eat. That's the culture, right? And I did that for 45 years. I'm 49 now. Yes, I know I look young. 45 years, and I had to, for a while there, when I learned, especially when I learned about factory farming and what happens to animals, I have to tell you, I would cry. I mean, I would just cry. But I watch TV and I'd see commercials and I would just bawl. And I was like, man, this plant-based food is making me really, right? This is like, it's making me really emotional. Why am I crying every time I see a milk commercial? I know, now I know. And not just a milk commercial, I see a kid commercial nothing to do with food. And I'd cry. And the fact is that you have to accept the past. You didn't know better. We evolve. We learn. Do not. My wife planted the seed with me and my daughters years ago. But when it sprung, when that seed sprouted, it grew real fast. Forgive yourself. Once you do that, live it. You learn the lifestyle, now go live it. See this person riding a wave there? They're jumping in the water. That's me. I'm joking. But yes, sure, it's me, yeah. And commit to helping others to improve their health. You just committed, by the way, you hear that little raising of your hand? Welcome. Welcome aboard. You're part of the PlantPowered Tsunami. Because we're going to improve health, protect the environment, and save billions of animals each year. Adopt it and ride the wave. Step 3, validate the lifestyle. When I say validate, you need to document your results. There are a number of people I meet as I travel. I speak at a number of veg fests and events. And when I meet people, there's always that person that I meet that goes, yeah, I'm plant-based. I'm trying this right now. And I go, so, and they're whispering. They're literally whispering to me. And I'm like, you do know you're at a veg fest. And I go, you can speak louder, be vocal. Tell me about it. I want other people around to go, oh, I heard that guy was eating a steak 2 days ago and now he went plant-based. What? I want them to know your story. Validate it. There's so many ways to validate it. How many of you are not on social media? Raise your hand in shame. I'm joking. The fact is that you can record and share your plant-based journey on social media. You can have a blog. You can write a diary. Share it with your family. At a minimum for yourself, you can share it later. But come on. How many of you got cell phones? Smartphones? You know that little memo record or selfie video? Take a video today. I'm here eating plant-based at a new restaurant here in Durham. Oh my God, it's delicious, blah, blah, blah. And I can't wait to share this with my friends. In fact, I'm going to share with them my quinoa burrito. Okay? Click, share. Hello, you just validated the lifestyle. Oh my gosh, I lost 5 pounds today. Or I feel so good, I have so much energy. I can't believe how my mind is clear. I don't have that asthma that I had before. And collect the testimonials of others. When other people approach you, that have adopted a plant-based lifestyle, record them. Find out their story, share it. You know how hard it is to share? You heard a like, share. It's a click. If you're telling me you can't click a button to save someone's life, think about this. If you can't click a button that could potentially make someone aware, wake up, and save their lives. You know how many people I've talked to that said, oh my gosh, I went to your talk and I decided to give it a try and, it's only been a week and in a week I had my cholesterol levels drop 15%. I can't wait to do this for a month. I can't tell you how many stories and how many times I'm like, I wish I started speaking earlier. How many more people we could have helped? Step 4. Once you validate the lifestyle, engage others. Connection. If there's anything I've learned about being plant-based, especially being vegan, vegan is about respect for life. Yes? All life. It's about connecting and empathizing and really understanding that we are all connected. Do you believe we are all connected? Yes. Do you believe we're connected to the planet? Yes. Right? We're connected to Source God. Whoever you believe in, we are all connected. You may believe we're just all energy. At the end of the day, energy is what? Connection. So the key here to the wave isn't just about learning. My job isn't here to teach you about plant-based nutrition. What I'm trying to do is to teach you how to share that information with others to create an ongoing wave. You understand? Because you know what a tsunami is? A tsunami is a big wave, but a tsunami is a one wave built upon another wave, built upon another wave, built upon another wave. And when that tsunami is going in the right direction, watch out. So share everything online, social media networks. Raise your hand if you're on Facebook. How about Twitter? Anyone on Twitter? Instagram. Pinterest, probably not too many people on Pinterest. LinkedIn, YouTube. So many ways to share on social media. You can go to plantbasedinfo.com. You know why? Plantbasedinfo.com is a site I put up It actually has 10 FAQs, frequently asked questions, with video and a little description you can talk to, and a little email thing. You want to send people a presentation, like this presentation, you put their email address in there and it sends it to them. So when you're talking to someone in the store, you ever meet that someone at the grocery store, for instance, and they go, oh my gosh, they're bringing up my food, and they're like, do you really like this? And I'm like, yeah, I love this. And they're like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about plant-based, but and then they're like, do you have a card? And they talk. And I go, I tell you what, I look at my phone, plantbasedinfo.com, and I go, what's your email address? I'll just send this to you. Boom, chakalaka, no excuses. Join and connect with others in online groups. There are a lot of Facebook groups, a lot of actually LinkedIn groups as well, growing there. So you can join, engage others, and share information. Join every plant-based or every vegan group. Just join them. And then when something pops up that you like, it's like, share. You know why? I said, you made that promise to me. I'm going to hold you to it. And even join or start a local plant-based support group. Like I said, plantpurecommunities.org has a pod program. You can start your own independent group. If you want us to start a chapter where you get a website and all the more of a structured or association type organization, just go to plantbasedsociety.com. That's my organization as well. We'll help you start one. We can help you to engage others. So we're going to go mainstream. Who wants to go mainstream? Let me hear you. Do you think we need to go mainstream with the plant-based movement? Say, kale, yeah. All right? Fact is, most meat will be plant-based or cell-based by 2040. According to a new report by A.T. Kearney, most meat will be plant-based or cell-based by 2040. I say we do it faster. Are you ready? Because here's why. We're going to start a plant-based network. Here's how I got started. I was watching the Food Network, and I said, I can't stand this. Every food competition is like, how do you make pork? How do you make chicken? They have dairy. Every commercial is either a meat commercial, a dairy commercial, or a pharmaceutical commercial. Then you go to mainstream media, ABC, CBS, okay. What do you see? If you watch the commercials, there's always a meat commercial, a dairy commercial, and a pharmaceutical commercial. And plant-based companies can't go there because those companies, the meat, dairy, and pharmaceutical companies, will threaten to pull their money out. See? So where do they market? They market online. Problem is, millennials go online. A lot of people 50 plus prefer to watch cable TV. So there's this big gap of people that are not educated about the environment, about the health, about compassion. So I said, I'm a crazy little Hawaiian guy. I got some friends. I like to build communities. What if we built the Plant-Based Network? That's what we're launching. 60 days. A cable TV and online network. I want this in between the Food Network and the Food Channel. And people are turning and they're like, oh my gosh, look at this. So here's what we're going to do. Are you with me? Let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you this about the Plant-Based Network. There's a lot of information out there. It is a lifestyle and entertainment network. Because when we go to YouTube, there are a lot of channels that talk about plant-based nutrition, the science, and there are a lot of documentaries. There are a lot of cooking shows, and there are a lot of plant-based news. But it's kind of intense. It's not something you necessarily watch 24 hours a day. What I want to do is not just generate people from the plant-based world watching the Plant-Based Network. I want to get the non-plant-based people watching it. So we're going to have like reality shows about starting your own farm sanctuary with no experience whatsoever. We're going to have shows featuring plant-based doctors answering questions. And by the way, we're in talks with several plant-based celebrity doctors about that. We'll have plant-based athletes and fitness shows. We'll talk about sustainability, earth, deforestation, how we're planting, how do we fight? And we are celebrating the plant-based lifestyle. So the difference here in the Plant-Based Network is to make sure that we are talking positive and we're inclusive. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm on Facebook, for instance, there's a lot of negativity, even from plant-based people or from vegan people. Right? There's a lot of debates going on. Why are we fighting with ourselves? Because you know what? That just gives the non-plant-based people pause for thought, right? Well, geez, look at this. They don't even seem to get along with each other. I don't want to enter that. Why would I try? Do not give them room for excuses. People, you saw what I mentioned earlier. What's at stake? That is not a small mission. I know what my passion, my purpose, my legacy is. My passion is the plant-based movement. I love what is at stake here. I know how I can help. My purpose is to promote the plant-based movement, right? My legacy is the Plant-Based Network. That's going to last beyond me, right? What is your legacy? What do you want to do? I want to help you. And there are a lot more people that want to help you leave your legacy. You understand? You are not alone. You understand that. The movement is growing, and this plant-powered tsunami is not coming. It's here. I'm going to ask you now to write it with me. Thank you very much.